What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of This Hits Different, hosted by yours truly, Riley Nelson. Um, this is going to be a pretty short episode. We're just going to talk, okay? So, obviously, the election results were announced. As of right now, it is Thursday. It is over 24 hours since the announcement as Donald Trump as our next president has been announced. And I have been trying to process and understand where, why, and how we have gotten here as a country. And I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. I really am. And I guess I was naive to think that, you know, hate is going to win, and naive to think that Kamala had it in the bag, because I really believe that she did. And it's a really hard thing that this country is coming to terms with. And it's a hard thing to understand and accept that it was the majority vote and the electoral vote. So he got the popular vote and he got the electoral vote. And I cannot understand how. I listened to a really good podcast this morning. I was listening to The Daily by the New York Times, and I listened to the one from yesterday and the one from today, Thursday. And I thought it was really interesting to see the way that they broke down this election. I think that they did a really good job of keeping it unbiased, regardless of what your beliefs are on the New York Times or anything like that. I do feel like it was a very well produced podcast. I believe that it was very heavily researched and heavily backed. And I just don't think that Kamala had enough time to get her stuff in order. I mean, she only had 3 months to get her campaign and do her campaign. And honestly, I was naive enough to think that we were never going to let Donald Trump get into office again. And I feel really scared. And I think that that's how a lot of you guys are feeling. Obviously, I believe in democracy and I believe in the elections, and I believe that it was done fairly. And I am not going to sit here and perpetuate idiotic propaganda to try to explain and say that this was not a fair election, because it was. And I'm having so many mixed emotions. Like, it's hard to not take it personal when this election and everything that's going on in our country right now feels so personal. I'm having a hard time coming to terms with people I love voting for Donald Trump, and I cannot understand why they can excuse his behavior. I just I don't understand it. And I I have tried listening and watching things on the other side. And at the end of the day, Donald Trump just put forth a better campaign. He had 4 years to plan and think and execute it. And I really do hope that he does a good job. Because at the end of the day, if he doesn't, we're all going to suffer as Americans. I just, at the end of the day, want to push out love and positivity. And even though I am struggling with it, and I am angry, and I am disappointed, and I am hurt, I want you guys to do whatever it is that you need to do to cope with this election. Whether it's taking a bath or, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, and maybe cutting people out who you thought differently of. Whatever that looks like for you, whatever you need to do in this time that is helpful to our society, do it. Just do what you need to do. If you can see this beautiful bouquet of flowers, that is what I had to do yesterday in order to feel any sense of happiness as a result of this election. It's hard. Women's rights and 50% of our population isn't enough. And I'm not a single issue voter. I will say that human rights is a really high priority for me, and one party is not adhering to that. And I know if you are conservative and you're listening to this, I know what you're going to say. They just gave the power back to the states. The United States of America is supposed to be the United States, not the separated states, not the states that do whatever they want. We all are under one country and one government. We all have the right to speak. We have the right to bear arms. We have the right to do and love whoever we want. We are so lucky and so blessed that we even get to live in a country like this. It is important, though, that we live as one country. And I believe that having different states and different governments telling us what we can and can't do with our bodies and telling us who we can and can't love is not okay. I don't want to hear the bullshit excuse of, oh, we're just giving the power back to the states. I don't believe that the states should have power over something like this. This is something that needs to be a federal mandated law. And I think that we can all agree that women's health care and women's reproductive rights has gone way too far. Women are dying left and right. People of color are being heavily brutalized and incarcerated, and it's not okay. And transgender rights should not be stripped away from people. Let people do whatever they want. Like, I don't understand, because of your religious beliefs, why that you think that you can have decisions over me and mine. And at the end of the day, I am a Christian. I love Jesus. And it's actually my love of Jesus that has led me to believe this way. Because what God and Jesus stand for is love. The entire Bible is about loving each other. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter if you are a prostitute, if you are a cheater, if you're a liar, if you're a thief. It doesn't matter. Jesus loves, and that's what Christianity should be. I believe in the separation of church and state, and I think a lot of you guys do too. So why are we allowing the church into our politics? Churches are corrupted. People are corrupted. At the end of the day, what matters is loving each other. And I'm going to admit, I'm having a really hard time with the people in my life right now, because I cannot wrap my mind around the fact that your taxes and your cost of gas and groceries is a bigger deal than my rights and my bodily autonomy and Black rights and LGBTQ rights. I just don't understand how we got here. And to think that Donald Trump represents a majority of American voters, it just makes me sick. Like, did we forget that the man incited an insurrection and a raid upon the Capitol? Did we forget that the man elected the Supreme Court justices who overturned Roe versus Wade? Did we forget that he is a liar? He is a rapist. He has failed and bankrupted so many businesses. He's lied and manipulated his way to the top. And you're sitting there telling me that he is better than a woman who has done nothing her entire career but uphold the Constitution? I just don't. I don't get it, guys. I don't understand. I thought that we were better than this. I'm disappointed in this country, and I am tired. I am tired of fighting for my voice and my rights, and I am tired of pushing for this. Women before me have been fighting for generations for these freedoms that Donald Trump has taken away. And the people that Donald Trump has elected. And now they have the House, they have the Senate, and they have the presidency. It's not a fair government, and I am terrified of what the next 4 years are going to look like. I know that there are a plethora of issues, but I do not believe that one person can solve them. It is systemic, and there are so many issues down the line. I mean, we're talking food, we're talking big pharma, we're talking women's rights, we're talking gay rights, black rights, giving the police full authority and to do whatever they want with no consequences. Call me too political, call me a soft liberal. I don't care. If caring about people and loving thy neighbor makes me soft and sensitive, I will wear that proudly. I am going through so many ranges of emotion. I've been crying, I've been mad, I've been depressed. I'm trying to come to terms, and I really do hope and pray that this doesn't happen. I really do. Mark my words. It's not going to end with abortions. It's already going into IVF. It's going to be going into fertility treatments. It's going to be going into contraceptive and women's rights to their bodies. And God forbid it goes to women's votes. And giving police officers full authority and having no sense of accountability is sick. It's just, I thought that we were better than this. I thought that we viewed women as equals, and we just clearly don't. I'm disappointed in this country. And yeah, I'm ready to go to Australia. I love people. I have a really big heart. I'm sensitive, and I always have been. And I will always continue to give people a voice. And that's the beauty of this country, is that I get to get up here and I get to do this. Who knows how long? I don't know. But do what you need to do and try to just have peace. And I know it's hard having conversations, but just tell people that you need time and space. That's what I've had to do. I've had to tell my family, do not bring up a political candidate or any politician. Do not bring up any opinions on anything. If you guys want to talk about it, then you go make another group chat. I need space right now. I am hurting. And I feel afraid. And I don't know what's going to happen in these next 4 years. I have an idea. But, yeah. I don't really know what else to say. So, like Kamala said, we're not giving up. It's time that we roll up our sleeves. So, let's roll them up. I'm sad and I'm tired, but I'm ready to get to work. And I love this country, and I want to make this country better. And I want it to be as fair and equal for all people as it can be. This is a whole nother level of fuck you to women. And as a woman, I can't wrap my mind around how you could vote for someone like this. How did we forget the disgusting things that he has said, the victims that have come forward, the women that we know that Donald Trump has paid off to not speak and come forward about him? At the end of the day, there will always be darkness and evil. It's going to be really hard. But we need to love one another, and That's it. Take your time, take your space from your conservative uncle. Do what you gotta do. We will continue to love and fight for each other. And I truly do believe that. And I believe in good people. And I believe that there are people who have voted for Trump that aren't evil. Get ready to march. Get ready to protest. And make my voice so fucking loud. And I will. And I don't care. I don't care what you have to say. If you are listening to this and you voted for Donald Trump and you do not agree with me, I don't care. I don't want to align myself and vote for somebody who is a bad person. Women are resilient. Minorities are resilient. We are loud and we have our voice. So, don't let anybody try to silence you. And we are going to press forward and we are going to roll our sleeves up and we are going to demand equality and a better future for ourselves, for our children, and for our grandchildren. If you are listening and you need somewhere to vent about your anger and anything that you need, I am here for you. If you are in a red state and you voted blue and nobody around you understands or realizes the gravity of this situation, DM me. Send me a text. Send me a DM. Send me an email. Whatever you got to do, I am here for you and I am a safe space for you. If I would have recorded this even like 3 hours ago, it would have been a very different episode. I'm going back and forth. I am going through the process of grief. So, I love you guys. I am here for you. And we will make a better country for our daughters, for our wives, and for our children. Bye, guys.